It's been 2 years since I've started the process of recovering from autistic burnout, and I'm finally in a place where I'm no longer in burnout. And I'm gonna tell y'all how I got out of it and exactly what I did. So let's get to it. So now that I'm easing out of autistic burnout, I want to tell y'all exactly what I did, like the tangible, actionable things that I did to get out of autistic burnout. Because if you're like me, in the midst of severe burnout, you feel like hopeless. You feel like you don't know what to do. You don't know a way forward. There are barely any resources. Everyone is saying just unmask or just rest or just do self care or just meditate, and none of that works. So, number one, I had to understand that what was happening to me was autistic burnout. Autistic burnout is very different compared to regular workplace related burnout. So, autistic burnout impacts your entire livelihood. Like, and it also can mimic depression. So you may feel like you have no energy to do anything, you can't focus, you don't feel like yourself, you feel like the things that you normally like to do, you no longer like to do those things, and you're confused why. And physically, like, you literally have no energy to do anything. And it impacts how you socialize, all of your relationships, how you show up to work. So it touches on every area of your life. So that's number one. Number two, I had to seek support. So for a while, I thought I would just do what I normally do when I feel I'm in a rut or I'm stuck. I would just throw everything into work and just continue to overwork. Little did I know that was pushing me further into burnout. And so it just kept getting worse. I started getting sick. If you watch my last video, I talk about losing my hair and all that stuff. And I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't eating right. So I took a deeper dive and I understood that whatever I was doing on my own was not working. And you cannot recover from burnout in isolation. You cannot recover from autistic burnout on your own. That was a hard lesson that I learned. But once I understood that, I made the huge decision to move, uproot my life, which took energy, which I didn't have, but I did have to rest a little bit before I did this. So I uprooted my life and moved closer to be with my sister, because my sister is like my support person. I like joke around and kid about having a support person, but that's what she is to me. Aww. And I moved closer to her. And the move was so difficult. It took a lot out of me, very overwhelming and overstimulating. And the little bit of energy that I had left, it drained it all. And so my sister really stepped in, and she would drive me to the grocery store. She and her boyfriend would cook for me. She like made sure that I wasn't alone. She would come visit me, and that's exactly what I needed when I was back in Maryland by myself. And through that support, I slowly had the space to just relax, because I didn't have to make all the decisions on my own. I didn't have to figure out how to do everything on my own without any energy. So once I had the space to relax, I then realized that I needed a routine, because I would relax, rest, and then I would jump back into doing stuff the way that I normally would, and it would push me back into burnout. So I recognized that I needed to, one, understand the patterns that were happening, that were causing me to burn out, and then two, create a routine so that I can consistently do the same things to get the rest that I need. And I'm gonna pause right here and say, when people say get rest, they don't mean just like sleep for 8 hours. It's not just about sleeping. There are 7 types of rest, and I'm gonna post like a screenshot. I won't get into them in this video, but you should take some time and look through the 7 types of rest. And you need to be hitting each of those every week, because your body needs to recoup, and not just physically. So once I understood that, I created my routine and I started to do it. And for like the first week, nothing happened. The second week, nothing happened. And then I realized, okay, I needed to reset my dopamine like input and sensory needs. And I also needed to get the hell off my phone. So yes, it's them phones. I'm telling you, it's them phones. I took a break from social media and my phone, and in that time I was able to really dive into all of the different types of rest. Social rest, emotional rest, physical rest. I was sleeping like 10 hours a day. That allowed me to eat more, like consistently, and like healthier stuff. And I only made space for the bare things that I needed. So basically to go grocery shopping and do laundry and take care of myself physically, and that was it. After doing that, it freed up space in my mind to be a little bit more creative. And I got the bright idea, like, okay, now that I've gotten this routine down, I need to really track what's been going on with me so I could understand and see if there are any patterns. So I created this like quick and dirty symptom tracker for myself on Notion, and I was using it consistently for like 2 months. And in the midst of doing that, I'm like, wait a minute. There's a reason why things have been shifting throughout this time. And the way I feel with burnout hasn't been consistent. It's because burnout has stages. Like, it's not linear, and it's not just like a one-time event that is all encompassing and it's the same for everybody. There's stages of it to burnout. So once I recognized that, I did some more research to see if anyone had talked about this, and I couldn't find anything anywhere. And I was like, this is nuts, because this changes how I perceive burnout and how I'm going to navigate out of burnout, because I was thinking I just needed to unmask and sleep. But that only works if you're in a specific stage of burnout. So I developed a whole entire autistic burnout recovery framework, and it has 4 stages. It starts at pre-burnout and ends in stage 3. There's technically 5 stages. I don't count stage 4 because stage 4 means that you're out of burnout, but all those stages, they're not linear. It's a cycle. And I wholeheartedly believe like that cycle is a part of being autistic, because we are having to live in a world that doesn't accommodate for the way autistic brains work. So those stages turned into my framework. And as I continued to follow along those stages and ask other people about it, it confirmed my theory. And so this newfound thought and framework that I created, not only is it holistic, it's intersectional. It is dependent on where you are specifically as an individual and the support needs that you need. Because not everybody can unmask safely. Not everybody can just up and stop working, go on a sabbatical and rest for long periods of hours, or even get 10 hours of sleep. So I then turned all of the things that I learned about my framework into portals. I created the portals, which is like a combination or culmination of everything that I've done for myself to get to this point. And I was able to turn it into some actionable templates, guides, and educational resources to help people not only understand burnout in itself, autistic burnout, and how it shows up for them and what recovery looks like, but how to actually walk yourself through the different stages and what the symptoms are and what recovery and management strategies are depending on the stage that you're in. Because again, the different stages have different needs, support needs, and different strategies that you have to implement to recover from that stage. But I have a quiz. That helps you assess exactly what stage you're in, so you don't even have to do the hard part for that. So I've got it all figured out for you. I'm gonna walk y'all through a high-level overview of what these portals look like. I'm gonna take you behind the scenes. So we're in my office. I'm about to plug up my laptop, and we're gonna walk through all of the portals, like high level though. Okay, so to get started, when you log into every single portal, at the top right here, you'll always see the results from your quiz. So what your burnout archetype or character is. Now, every single portal also has a daily progress tracker. So it's basically for those who are ADHD or ADHD. I know you need to like check things off and make sure like you're getting your dopamine hits. So that's what that portion is for. It's to remind you to come in and look at the portal and check different portions. And you will just, every day you do this task, you check it off, and you see like the progression increases for every single day, and you can reset it at the end of every day. All of the portals also have what I call daily check-ins. This is where the symptom tracker is. And the symptom tracker allows you, exactly what it says, to track all of your symptoms. And this is an example of one right here. You will just come in, fill out each of the different categories, and then once you fill them out, it pops up on your calendar. If you forget to click in and click that plus button, you can always use this button, create a daily entry. It pops open a new thing. You can fill it out and keep going all the way. And so once you finish the symptom tracker, it populates in the calendar. So ideally you will have the whole entire calendar filled out. And once you do, it pops up down here as a weekly and monthly report. So at the bottom, these reports kind of aggregate all of your symptoms or all of your energies and moods for that week. And then for my monthly report, it tells you everything for each month. You can track and see how many hours you've had, your energy, your moods, etc. And then all of that data gets aggregated into a chart for you to look at your energy levels and the moods. You can also come in here and change the different charts and what you want to assess. And this is the case for all of the portals. The symptom tracker adjusts based on the stage that you're in, but all the portals have a symptom tracker with these charts and all these reports and stuff. And then every portal has an understand tab. And so the idea behind the understand tab is you need to understand what stage you're in, what that encompasses, what it looks like for you, what recovery will look like for you based on that stage. Then we also have the manage tab. Only portals 1 and 2 have the manage tab because these stages 1 and stages 2 have the least amount of energy, so you can't just jump into recovery sometimes. Sometimes you need to work your way up and restore your energy levels. And then it also comes with some management strategies based on that stage to help you kind of navigate right where you are until you get the energy you need to kind of recover. Now, all of the portals have a recover tab, and that's exactly what it sounds like. There are strategies and information to help you recover based on the stage that you're in. And so these are the top 3 things consistently that I found based on each stage that you need to do to get out of that stage. All right, now that we've gone through the portals, I just want to do a quick recap and remind y'all of the steps that you can take right now to help yourself navigate through and get out of autistic burnout. So number 1, you first have to understand that you're in autistic burnout. You do not need a formal diagnosis to know that you're in autistic burnout. You could just tell by the symptoms and how it's making you feel and how it impacts your life. 2 is get support. Share the things that you've learned. So once you get the results from the quiz, you can share with the people around you and say, hey, look, I think even if I don't know if I'm autistic, I think I might be. And I think this is what's happening to me. And here are some potential support needs that I'm going to need, because you're going to need a support system through this. You cannot do this by yourself. Even if you don't have no friends, no family, you can reach out to people online. Like, you can hit me up on TikTok. I can do my best to help support you. And if you need more in-depth support, I offer one-on-one intensives to work with people one-on-one. It's all on my website. Everything will be linked in the description below. And then 3, you have to create a routine. Now, my portals help you do that. They help you understand like the different types of rest you need to prioritize and how to fit that into your routine based on the stage that you're in. And then 4, it's just following that framework through the portals. You don't have to use them every single day. It's based on your capacity, right? Like, this isn't supposed to feel like homework or like another task on your list. It's supposed to just be like a guide for you to view your life through so that you know how to find the balance. I've made them super accessible and easy to follow so that you don't have to go through what I went through. It took me 2 whole years to get to this point, and more specifically, it took me like 3 months to get to the stages of like understanding my framework and stuff. So to save you all this time, that's why I created them. So yeah, that's the gist of it all. And if you ever need any help or support, I'm here. You know where and how to find me across all socials. Everything is linked in the description. Even if you have like quick questions, drop them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. And I just want to help everyone who needs it. So thank you for watching. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm like 100 away. So please hit that subscribe button, like it, share it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.